Hello and welcome to the final round of the Sim Racing GP Rookie League Next Gen Touring Car here at the Patras circuit. This circuit has been made by the team over at Pixel Tracks, and as you can see recently I believe it came through quite a big update which included arguably the best feature of the circuit, which is my logo now being displayed around the track as advertisement. For people who weren't here 2 weeks ago, again, a fairly bad start for Colin Forth put him down the order, as even though he is still in first going into the race today. He's not got a massive gap between himself and DB911. So definitely two drivers there to watch. A little bit of info about Patras, really. It's quite an interesting track. As far as I could read from the sort of history of the track from Pixel Tracks, was it a track in Greece that was never really built. You could see the layout from satellite imagery, and that's where Trevorick and the other people from Pixel Tracks, I'm not sure how many it is or if it's just Trev on his own, went in and started to use it almost as a testing bed, really. We're just looking down the start finish straight here. You can see a lot of advertisement from Sim Racing GP to the website for Pixel Tracks themselves, pixeltracks.eu, Huskinveld, I believe they make pedals, Team Smokin', myself, Rookie Monsters, Team Birch, Backmarker, Racing Dad, and some more stuff down there as we look. And this circuit is clearly going to offer us some very, very close and interesting racing as we actually get on board with Colin Forth as he comes out. I've just clicked the wrong thing. Whoopsies! I'm an idiot. I'm using my phone for overlay today, and it's really small. So here he is, Colin Forth, current championship leader. This race, he has to, I think, beat DB911. If he beats DB911, I believe he's won. This is something that I will recheck as we go into qualifying. Remember, only having one computer today to go off. So, Patras, as every race has had so far in the season, a special rolling start, which drivers on the green light go at pit speed up to the first chicane this time around. Once they enter the chicane, they are basically set to go, and their race begins, which minimises turn 1 and lap 1 kills, really. Yeah, as we have a look over this track, oh come on Frothy, please give us one more lap after this. I know he's not watching this, but I just want him to. You can see it's quite a flowing track. I gave some drives around, English getting away from me. I gave some laps around here myself. And yeah, it was very flowing, but very difficult to get into. You had to very much know what you're doing, especially around this section here, where you can see the turn just keeps going, and then there's an end, and you're back on the start finish straight. It's honestly, it was quite a difficult track to get my head around. But here we see now Colin Forth going down to the start finish line. Best time so far this practice being a 1 minute 50.7, turn 1, and he rolls it. Huh. Okay. Well, that scuppered my plan there, didn't it? Of giving a lap commentary because he rolls it around the first corner. Ah, God. So here is DB911. The frame rate is just going to die for a minute, as I'm actually going to give an update on the overall standings. Just to give an idea of where they are and where the gap is. So, In first for Div B is Colin Forth, Frothy. 6 races in, a score of 146. Behind him, actually, in second, I believe the points might have been a bit updated, is actually Trev Rick, creator of this track and also manager of Team Smokin'. So, Team Smokin' 1-2 in Drivers' Championship so far. Theoretically, anyone in the top 5, maybe a push the top 6, could challenge. In third is DB911 at 137 points, so only 9 behind Frothy. He could do it. Keep in mind, the winner scores 30 points, I believe it is, and then a 1-point decreasement ladder is done from there. In fourth is Srgp at 135 points. In fifth is Pinkwin with 131, and in sixth is Appiwi with 129. We'll go down until the people who have done at least 3 races, basically. In 7th is Javier Benito, who's done 124 points. P8, Btcc at 123 points. P9, Ricky Rizzolo, 120. P10, Gregory Malzak, 118. 11th is a QE with 114. 12th is Liege at 109. 13th being Seal Tronan, 105 points. 14th, David Molliker, 70 points. 15th, John Mayer, 67 points. 16th, David Hudson at 64. 17th, Karak, 64 at 53. 18th, Suyoji at 49. 19th, Genesix at 45. 20th, Yin at 43. And 21st being Adrian at 38. Hello, Anne, my lovely co-commentator Anton, who couldn't join me today for this final race, being in the chat. Might not be with me here in voice, but he's definitely going to be here, hopefully, to watch me try and shout here while just like, where's my statistics gone? If you look very carefully, you will notice a small ant around the track somewhere. That's a very interesting line from Pinkwin through turn 1. Where is Ant? Let's see if we can see him around the track. Shall we? So, at the minute, 21 cars on grid. This is definitely going to be something if these cars stay on circuit. Also, the camera angle here, I love. Like, oh. I will have to tell Trev he's done a great job with these camera angles, because they are, honestly, something else. Oh, 2 cars have dropped off the grid. So really, the cars to watch this race, as has been for most of the races this season, is going to be Frothy, DB911, Trev Rick, and also Srgp. The 2 latter drivers both being in the Subaru Levorgs, which have really started to climb towards the end of the races. Srgp and Trev Rick getting their Subaru Levorgs on the podiums, I think more than once this season. The earliest I remember being Magny Core, but then I think a little bit later as well. I could be wrong. But from just an outset of looking at this track, there's not really much I can talk over in practice, especially on my own. It's going to be obvious that we'll get some good battles going out of it here, especially into the chicanes as well, because there is enough room to make a challenge if you're not stupid with it. Which overall, sort of where you want to be with a circuit. Enough corners and enough opportunities to make challenges, not just fighting down straights. You know, all the way around the circuit, basically. There's a few corners where I wouldn't really try it, but that's just me being a bit cautious. Plus, I prefer to dive into corners that, you know, you can make it look very heroic. go. Sandrino coming across the line, spiral through every sector, but we'll sit on board for a lap with him now. So as we go through turn 1, looks like every driver gets the back out. Flip up onto the ribbon. Turn 2 leads quite quickly into turn 3. Over the hill, crest. I think brake at the 100 into the chicane. It's quite a fast one, this one. A little bit double brakes as you go into it. Haven't driven these Btcc cars, so I'm just guessing from the USF. Right-hander, quite a long one. Seems to be quite easy to exit out a bit wider than you want. Apparently use very little of the outside as you exit the corner. And you get another little breather down the straight. Brake very late as he goes off there. And else on track. Yep, pink win for Racing Dad. As is normal during qualifying, I will just switch it to auto. We'll obviously run a few laps with Colin Forth and DB911 as much as I can because, you know, the biggest fight for the championship, I think, is there. Treverick, even though being in second, and no disrespect to him, he is fast, I don't think the Subaru is going to have a huge spate of luck here. If he can qualify it quite high up, then maybe the amount that he's climbed in those Subarus towards the end, the latter portion of the race, will be very good. Also, a note for people who might not have understood this. This is the last race of the season, and as normal, the races are 31 minutes. Today, they are 45, so it's one 45-minute race today, meaning an extra 15-ish minutes of drama and excitement all the way from the start to the finish, as the top 6 on points are obviously going to be pushing very hard. Because whoever comes away, really, anything could happen. Colin Forth could have an issue in a corner, could open the door to DB911, could even open the door to Treverick, could even open the door to Pinkwin, Appledworth and Srgp. There's 6 drivers realistically in contention. If you want to go really realistically, about 4. But it's still very much a close-knit thing here. It's the final round as well. A championship going down to the final round. The team's championship, for people who are wondering, has been completely tied up. Team Schmoken took that, I think, 2 rounds ago. I think they tied that up at Magny-Cours or even the round before. I'm not 100% sure. But tonight I will be giving a full rundown of the stats at the end. Pinkwin going fast as ever, 150.548. Not many cars on grid at the minute. There you go, Davey! Grasp. Oh, right, practice session's over. Right, no wonder no one's on track. So here we go, on to qualifying! I think! Yes, on to qualifying. So, 20 cars for this qualifying. We obviously know who I'm going to watch here. As yet, out onto the track he comes. Colin Forth, Frothy, current championship leader. In the, still my favourite Team Smoking car, as everyone's waiting for the traffic lights to go green. Go! Meow! Only 2 cars now on the grid. Def and Barrier just joining us here at the Sim Racing GP TRL Btcc Division B. So you can see the train already having formed behind Colin Forth. A Mercedes and 2 Astras, I think. And also another Mercedes. So we'll see if they cause any issue. However, keep in mind they will sort of get a bit of trouble off one another. Not as it's very important, these cars. But it's quite nice to have on a qualifying lap. It's a bit of draft. Especially if you can make use of it down the straights and slip past for a faster straight line speed as you exit into the next corner. So, under the bridge he comes. Round go as we head up to this quite difficult right-hander, I feel. I think it leads into a chicane. I'm still somewhat learning this track. I know it from inside view, but I don't know it from outside view. Yay. Right, yeah, as we come into the chicane there. That very cheap Coke went down the very wrong way. Oh. That's why I'm going to turn off. Well, the complaints I forgot to turn off the in-game panels because I am very smart. There you go. Now I can move my mouse around freely and not get myself messed up by the in-game panels coming up every 2 seconds. Very useful button that I didn't notice until the last round. So here we go, out onto the lap now for Colin Forth. Oh, tyre smoke through T1. Where's our Segunus? Oh, Segunus. Oh, was he at the last round? I can't 100% remember. Or is he? No. I'm not sure. As you can clearly tell, I remember everything. Oh, he's a debutant. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Yes, there we go. That looks right. Not new to the series. Oh, okay. So is he a bit more proven in other series then? Colin Forth setting the best sector 1 time at the minute. So this is the first laps. See, this is why I need you. You get all the stats. I don't. I just shout at stuff. So, okay. Definitely one to watch then. On this 22 car grid. I think the highest we've seen so far this season. Don, why don't you have the equipment? Out currently. Watching me on the big screen. Quick, put me on in the pub. No. Oh yeah, pubs are closed. Colin Forth going fast in sector 2 as well. This could all change, however. We should be seeing the first laps come in just about now, I think, as we get the look on the back end of Pinkwin. Great, 151.7 for Pinkwin. Colin Forth coming through now for 151.6. Ricky Risotto coming through 151.5 ish. I think DB911, Appledworth, both a second off. PXC, 3 seconds off so far. Here is Appledworth, one of the other Team Smoking drivers. Mad Mike coming through P9 at the minute. Mazak, P7. Pox 69, P9 now. Trev Rick also going through in P8. Ricky Risotto coming out for another lap. Davey coming through for P6 right now. Pushes Arno, Mazak and Rich down. Marshall now P6, pushing all the aforementioned down. Ooh, this is a nice camera. Colin Forth back out on track. DB911 down in P5. David Hudson P13 as well as things currently stand. Someone flipping there. Not sure what happened there. Someone else spinning. That means Appledworth might have to slow down a bit. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's powering through. I don't know who M is. Madbad82 also on the grid. Someone else I see in Srgp a fair bit. Srgp himself going in 6th. Already the gap between the top 3 is only about 600ths, which obviously something good. DB911 being almost a second flat off the pace of Colin Forth. Could just be first lap nerves or could go faster later on. Segunas, Konus going P7, 1.4 off of pole time at the minute. Maybe expecting that to head down quite a lot. Appledworth having gone slower through both sectors. Here is DB911. Remember the fight between him, Trevrick, Colin Forth, Srgp, Appledworth and PXC, I think. Be a very interesting one as we get my advertisement in the back. Remember to follow and Yeah, that's all there is on Twitch, isn't it? Following. There isn't really much else. Yeah, see, if this is YouTube, I could say, you know, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all that stuff. But this isn't YouTube. Hooray! Because YouTube streaming services... and I don't like them very much. So, DB911 coming across the line. I think that was either his outlap or he didn't improve. Or the other. One of the Subaru Levols coming out the pits. I'm not sure who that is. Sandrino coming through P9 as well. Most drivers now having taken a lap or two. David Molliker on the grid as well. Very nice. Who is M? Is that Mayor? Find out soon. Oh, this is going to be a track of the front right being absolutely murdered, I think. Smoking it through T1 and then T4, I believe. Front left getting a bit of love around the next set. So, do you know Owen Chevy coming through sector 1 now? Soon? Maybe? R Factor? Possible? Maybe not? Apparently not. Apparently R Factor's just forgotten how sections work. Or is it here? No. Okay, no, sure what R Factor's doing. He's almost finished a lap and it's giving me no sector splits whatsoever. Okay. Interesting. Trev Rick also down in 13th. Srgp P8. Penguin and Apidorf P3 and 4. DB11 follows in P5. Might not be now. Let's see. Nope, not going to improve his lap time. Going through with a 1:54, I believe that was. So he sets out on another flying lap, I believe. Drivers yet to make a time being Molliker, Def, and Barrier. Here we are with Pinkwin on his outlap this time. Yep, that is John Mayer. You can tell by the very smiley MG that John Mayer is about. I think one of the backmarker racing cars. Not mistaken. It has backmarker racing on it. Oh, as him and Pinkwin come together in qualifying. Oh dear. Now that was some racing. Even though it's qualifying, we shouldn't be having racing yet. But oh well, it looks like we're racing. Also, for people who are curious about the Team Championship, as I said earlier, Team Schmogen have wrapped it up. Winning with 342 points as it currently stands. After them is Racing Club at 223 points, so no chance for catching up there, which is a shame, but it happens. Racing Dad follows in P3 of 183 points. PRS after that with 153. Sim Gimp at 84. Iceberg Sim Racing Team at 70. Backmarker Racing at 67. Pan Franciac Team at 51. PS Motorsport 49. Akvra Sim Racing at 29. VFR at 25. And 1978's Racing at 17. For people who are also curious about the constructors, at the minute the Astra is winning the Constructors' Championship at 173 points, followed by the Levorg at 153, the Mercedes A45 at 149, the M6, the MG6 GT at 95, and the Ford Focus at 25. A car that I've not seen a lot of people in. Really, I think I've seen it once. We're gonna go on Hunt the Ford. Subaru, Merc, Subaru. Oh, SRGP using the SRGP livery. One we've not seen, I think, after we had an argument. I mean, I didn't. I was nice. Subaru. Ford! We found one! Yay! Found the Ford, boys. Are there any other ones, or was that the only one? MG, John Mayer. Very smiley. Very smiley car. I do like the smiley car. Astra, Merc, Astra, Ford. Ford! Someone else has joined. Yay! Here is Colin Voth, our current championship leader, as I've said. 0.024 off so far. Currently still pole with a 151.1. Yep, slipping past that Ford quite easily. Might have lost him some time, however. I wish the home camera was a lot more, you know, nice. This is a good camera, but it's not very useful. Let's see a little bit of wheel input here as we go through the last chicane. Long right-hander into a little dip. Oop. Round we go. So I'm going to open up the Pixel Tracks website and read you a little bit of history about Patras. Because I made my notes, and as per usual, I lost my notebook. Ha! So, 7 years ago in 2012, Greece were on their way to having the F1 track Patras, near the Shalandrista area. Unfortunately, as per usual, Greece hit a major recession and the track was never built. Luckily for the Pixel Tracks team, they had already dug out the shape of the track and it is still visible today, as I said earlier. This gave us enough information to build a 3D model of the track, enabling us to bring it to life in a racing simulator R-Factor 2. It's not finished yet, but they are very close to work in progress release. I think it's released now. This track has been, I think, 2+ years in the making now. It's honestly quite a track. No, quite fast flowing. Happy to have, that'll do. Oh, no, we found Waldo. Happy to have having gotten 0.029 faster in the first section, first sector, but then 0.622 slower in the second. Yep, aborting his lap there. And Penguin going through turn 1. Getting up on 2 wheels, smacking back down. Hitting the wall. Marshall. I think I've not really seen much of this season. Going through the first chicane. So keep in mind, once drivers enter the start of the chicane we've just been through, their race does start. They can smack off the speed limiter and push. This does spread the grid out a little bit at the start, but it's never been an issue, really. It's always been very quick. Very quick to actually get close together. Here was a corner that I never managed to get well. You can see Marshall. Oh, it's Simon Marshall, right. I think that's the Simon Marshall I'm thinking of. Oh, God, he's going to kick me out of Rookie Monster. Is the one that I was thinking of. Whoops! DB911 here. P3 in the championship. Could quite easily clinch victory. 0.175 up through Sector 1. It's great, Husky doesn't remember names either. 2 drivers still to set times as qualifying comes to an end, so the drivers who are out on track are to finish this lap. You can actually see in front there, I think that was Colin Ford, you can see in front there. Yep, looks like it, the red tinted windows of Frothy. So, as per the ordinary, I will give us a qualifying rundown. I'll just wait for all the drivers to come through. DB911, 0.56, slower through Sector 2. Has he made it up through Sector 3? We'll find out. Comes across the line, goes P5. Hey! Okay. In now, just waiting for the rest of the cars to come through. That's where it's at if you want to get in on this racing. It's simracinggp.net. There is the website. I don't even need to put a link up. The advertisement has done it for me. Also, being down to one computer really hurts. No, we've got one more. Oh, I think the server has... Hey! So, the starting order, as it is, Colin Forth will line up in first with Ricky Rosado following, Appledworth P3 with Pinkwin P4. In fifth is DB911, followed by Simon Marshall, Trev Rick, and Christos Segunas. I'm sorry, I'm guessing his name is Greek, and I don't speak Greek. Arno in P9 with Mad Bad 82 following P10. Srgp in 11th with Sandrino in 12th. 13th, Davey, followed by John Mayer, Gregory Malzak, and David Hudson. Long grid this time round. 19th, Pocker 69, followed by PXC, Mad Mike, and David Molliker. 21st, Barrier 1234, and 22nd, Marconi Lima, rounding off the grid. So that is how we start at the Srgp TRL final. It sounds so bad to say that, because I know for a fact that this series has gone very quick. I will say some more words on that later. Yeah, it's clearly something this series has been having. I only have come into it from the Bahrain round, but yeah, I'll give some more words about the series at the end of the race, because for the minute we've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds until this 45-minute race gets underway. Half an hour does bring really close, really eventful racing. Let's see what the extra 15 minutes and the addition of this being, 6 drivers realistically fighting for the championship does. For the view that we get, the viewer. Now we see the cars starting to come across the line. Big bumps there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone went into the pits, I think. Yep, there's a car in the pits. 5, 6. Sorry, I'm just counting cars. I'll fall asleep in a minute. Some people count sheep when they go to bed. I count touring cars. Oh, looking at the floor again. There's the Pixel Tracks blimp up there. Seam? I can't see no seam. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, I don't like that whatsoever. No. No. Oh, forward-facing sprites are terrifying. Here, it's a game for a minute. Let's see if we can find the ant hidden around the track. There is one. I have been sent a picture of him. There he is! There he is! I think. There he is. There's our main man, the Antwerp 44. I think that's him anyway. That was the looks strikingly like the picture I was sent by Trev Rick. Hey, oh my! Ah! Many camera people. Many of them. Right, okay, be serious? Yeah, okay. Alright. Here's on the Ford, sounds like an angry bee. Here he is, Colin Forth, the man currently in P1 in the championship. Definitely going to be feeling the pressure today. I mean, definitely going to be feeling the pressure. Especially since he's currently P1. Not many points ahead of the next 6 drivers. I think the highest being like 11 points? I think. 12 points ahead of the driver in P6, who is Pinkwin. No, sorry, Applewee P6. Only 6 points ahead of Trev Rick, and only 9 points ahead of DB911. But realistically, it's a very close battle between the top 3. Anything can really happen. And the battle could extend to the top 6. So here we are. Let's watch the cars lining up on the grid. Any of them going to give me a toot or a flash of the lights? We'll find out. People should know that I watch this bit very closely. Yeah, there we go. Got some toots. Mini toots. So, the grid for people who are curious. Colin Forth will line up in first. Ricky Risotto second. Apidua third. Pinkwin fourth. DB911 fifth. Simon Marshall sixth. Trev Rick seventh. Lagunas eighth. Arno ninth. Mad Bad 82 10th. Srgp 11th. Sandrino 12th. Davey 13th. Mayer 14th. Mazak 15th. David Hudson in 16th. Hocker 69 17th. PXC 18th, Mad Mike 19th, Mollica 20th, Barrier 1234, 21st, and Lima in 22nd. So the lights are going to start beeping. Doesn't really matter to us right now, as the cars will start to go down to the line. So here we see him now, pit speed down the line. Ricky Risotto will be on the back of Colin Forth to begin with. Appledworth will be behind, and it looks like Pinkwin is going to be very tight to the back of Appledworth outside of the chicane. So it's going to be a very interesting start, I believe. Here we go, the first 2 drivers entering the chicane now. Away they go. Appledworth follows soon after, as well as Pinkwin. We're away. You can see the cars starting to release down onto the track. Here, away we go. Now's a good time for me to put on the auto control as we look at Srgp. Side by side with Arno, I think that is, or Mad Bad 82, sorry, the battle for 11th place. We go under the bridge, giving each other a fair bit of space, to be honest with you. As we now head up to the right-hander, Srgp getting a little bit ahead. We'll also have the inside line, both slamming on the brakes. Srgp looking to get past. Will Mad Bad now be under pressure from Davey into the chicane? He will. Davey trying up the inside. There is contact, but both drivers seem to survive. Not sure if there is any damage. That would be definitely one to look out for. Mad Bad now under fire from Sandrino. There as Davey overtakes Pocket 69. Pinkwin dropping back down now in P12, being overtaken by Mad Bad. And also Sandrino, I think. No, he's going to hang on. Trying to go round the outside there. A 5-car battle as Mad Bad takes a hit. That's quite a big crash involving quite a few cars. 3 off there. Gregory Mayer being one of them, Pocket 69 another. You can see him still clearing in the background as we get on with Pinkwin. Ricky Rizzolo has also taken the race lead during these opening laps. So the top three as it stands, Ricky Rizzolo, Colin Forth and Appledworth. Definitely going to be one for Colin Forth. Honestly, a second place for him will definitely be something good. Finishing ahead of DB911 and Trev Rick would really tie up the championship. Now as we look at Trev Rick himself, P6, looking to be chowing down on the gap between himself and DB911, about 0.9 to a second. Gap there, DB911 going quite wide. Gap now drops to 0.5, maybe 0.4 as we head onto the straight. Or not, it seems to have extended to 0.6. PXC on the back of Pocket 69. Having a quick look at diving outside. Might switch back to the inside. Is he going to have a look? Not yet. I could see him sort of twitching the wheel, seeing if he wanted to have a look, but wasn't 100% sure. Looks like many drivers have come out on the mediums today as well. Barrier 1, 2, 3, 4 has retired from the race. Already, PXE still looking on the back of Pocket 69. David Hudson behind, one of the other teams smoking Subaru Levorgs. Clearly all that battling won't do very well. For them, the best lap time going for Ricky Rizzolo over 152.6. We'll see that tumbling quite quickly throughout the course of the race, I believe. Here's Gregory Malzak. Had a very good race. I think it was Burium that we saw had a good race. You can see ahead, I think that's Pinkwin fighting Davey. Yeah, it is. Pinkwin getting through at turn 1. Davey maybe still having a look here as we run up to the chicane. Ooh, Davey going very much off there. That sort of closed up the gap between the two. Davey on the pink wall of tyre. I think that's either soft or hard. One or the other. If it is soft, we'll be seeing a very interesting strategy here from Davey. 5 minutes down, 40 more to go. The top three still hasn't changed. Simon Marshall, P4, looking to be starting to push at the back of Appledworth, I believe, a 1 second gap. As we get the intermediate times, thing that I have to tab out and do at the minute. Normally I'll just move over to the other computer and do it. But oh well, the person who actually owns that second computer is using it. So meh, doesn't really matter. Still looking at Davey here, as now we look back to David Molliker on the back of Mad Mike, with Mad Bad looking behind as well. The battle ready for 16th. Between these three cars, two Mercedes and the Subaru Levorg. Ricky Rizzolo putting in the best time for 152.6. Definitely very interesting. Yeah, Laguna. We're up on Arno through T1. I'm not sure why the game. So that wasn't what to look at. Srgp sat behind watching a little bit. Christos Segunas should have watched, well, 1-2 watch today. We've expected to climb up through the standings. PXE still on the back of Pocket 69. Astra versus Mercedes here as we go into the chicane. Currently 0.3 behind, maybe 0.4 as they head down. Could definitely be one for PXE to have a look here as we go into the sort of hairpin. Here, PXE sort of thinking maybe if he could get on the outside, not 100% sure. Could he try down the inside there? You can see the battle for 16th still ranging on behind as well. The two bright Mercedes as well as the blue and white Subaru driven by Mad Bad. With David Hudson as well behind. Keep in mind these Subarus have had a trend of very much climbing from their qualifying position. Update on the championship as well. As it stands, Colin Forth will win quite comfortably by the look of it as well. This time around, not seem to have had a drama. Because now I think Arno is going to be harassed by Srgp in his special Virus Racing Designs livery. Maybe not, but it does look like he's going to be on the back of Srgp. See, I play a lot of Armour 3, so I should know Greek names a little bit better than I do, but I don't. Here we go, Srgp, is he going to have a look into turn 1? Not quite yet, dropping back and thinking better of it. Could have made the move stick, but it would have been risky. Now we run up to the chicane. We'll see what happens here. Acunas getting very loose there. A bit of tyre smoke, not something I see a lot. You can even see Pinkwin in the background starting to really shut that gap down on Srgp. Rear wheel drive Subaru will probably get a better launch. Back up onto the straight. Seems to be doing on most of the circuits we have been to. Ooh, very close there from Arno on the rear quarter panel of Srgp. Names, very difficult. As here is Trev Rick on the back of DP911, 0.4, 0.5 gap round there as you head through the second chicane now. Through the dip. Trev Rick probably has a home team advantage as but obviously he made the circuit in R-Factor 2. Flips the curb on the inside. We'll see how he goes. Here on the back of DP911. That's not Simon Marshall. That is a lapped car. I think that's Lima down in P21. As we switch back to David Molliker on the back of Mad Mike. Also Mad Bad and John Mayer now getting into the fray. So 4 different car manufacturers there as Mad Bad sees the opportunity up the inside. Is it going to hold? Not quite yet. He could switch back or try around the outside. It's very touchy. Slotting back inside. Definitely going to have the draft there. Hits the grass and the curb on the outside. Might be a look into T1. Yeah, I'm trying to say Rich. I've gotten so used to Ant saying Rick. And it started to break into my vocabulary now. So blame Ant, not me. Switching back to the battle for E8. Arno having got past Sagunas. DB911 being overtaken by Trev Rich as well. Pinkwin now, maybe looking on the back of Sagunas. Yes, he is. Down the inside, maybe. Not quite yet. Srgp also sat behind there as well. Maybe waiting for a mistake. Maybe waiting for an easy overtake. Who knows? He does like racing hard. As far as I am aware. Colin Forth still sat in P2. Ricky Rosado ahead by 2 seconds. Appledorf behind Colin Forth by about 0.6. With Marshall trailing Appledorf with about 0.9, I think I saw before they went into the corner. Quite good. Lots of quite close battles, but I am at the behest of the plugin. Oh, I don't know why I've got such a cough today. Oh, here we are now back with Mad P17, Mad Mike ahead, John Mayer behind, Volker and Sandrino following after that. Mercedes from Subaru from MG from Mercedes from Mercedes. This. I think I can see another Subaru up ahead. I think that might be Hudson. Ooh, lot of tyre smoke there from Mad Mike. That might have slowed down enough for Mad Bad to have a look. Sitting in the draft as they come across the start-finish line. Down he goes, John Mayer following as we come back to this battle. 2 wide through the first and second corner. Pinkwin versus Sagunas. Into the chicane we go. Pinkwin gets the better line, so quite easily cut and dry. Mercedes left behind. So now Pinkwin will be on the back of Arno in the Ford. I think the only one on track at the minute, as Srgp gets quite onto the grass behind. That might open up the door for Srgp. Still really a 4-car battle here for P7. Split into 2 small sub-battles. I think Srgp might have got ahead there. Yep, it looks like he has. So Srgp moves up into P9. Pinkwin still chasing the back of Arno behind as well. We come up to the 31-minute mark remaining. People who have been following the series or racing any other ones, there's a bit of contact happens between Pinkwin and Arno. Looks like Arno came across in front when Pinkwin was sort of already there. Can't really shut the door while it's open. I think it's the top 5 finish he needs, but the minute I think he'd win is just the fact of he's ahead of the only people who are actually behind him in the championship. So right now he would be coming across for a win. I'm not sure. You're the stat guy. I'm not. Oh, Pinkwin now maybe looking at Arno into T1. They're side by side. Pinkwin gets the inside line. Arno looking for the cutback because Pinkwin goes very wide. Arno not quite making the most of that opportunity, slotting back into P8 as it currently stands. Pinkwin now 5.3, 5.5, 5.6. About 5.7 gap. About 5 odd. 5 odd second gap between himself and DB911. The makeup, which, as it currently stands, Ricky Rizzotto, Colin Forth, Appledworth, Marshall, Rich, DB911 are your top 6. But with 30 minutes remaining, everything could change, really. Get a yellow flag in Sector 1, not sure what happened, but it seems to have cleared up quite quick. Srgp on the side of Arno as well. Drop back now. Is he going to try up the inside of this corner? Not sure, because we cut to a different battle. John Mayer. 30 minutes remaining. One thing for people to note, if you have been following the series, as I was saying earlier, we've now just entered into the amount of time where a normal race distance would be applied. So we finished the extra 15 minutes, now it's on to a normal length race that we have been used to for the rest of the season. Srgp now looking on the back of Arno, I think, for a run down the start-finish straight. Srgp dipping very much to the inside. But it looks like he's got past. Has he? No, it looks like that Ford might be clawing back some top speed as they head into the first corner. Oh no, seems to have been past Pinkwin, going quite wide again. Something track limits. I think those curves I've already seen in the practice before I started the stream had taken a few drivers over and under. So Arno is now going to be under attack from Srgp. Maybe not round this corner, but maybe into the next. We'll have to see. Top 6 still unchanged. Definitely something Colin Forth is going to want to see, even though it might be a P2 for him today. If things stay how they are, it's clearly going to be the championship win for him. Srgp looking good. Hey, we are quite wide there on the corner before last chicane. They head into the dip. Quite a fun dip in the USF. I met the inside and outside wall quite a few times while I was doing some practice laps. Even though I can't race in USF anymore. always interesting to try. David Hudson on the back of Pocker 69. With Mad Bad behind as well for good measure. Bit of a tap. David Hudson gets the back quite loose. Manages to hold it. Gap seems to sort of stagnate as well. Maybe Mad Bad could have caught up a bit. You can also see John Mayer in the background. 1.5 seconds off of Mad Bad. Kunis has moved up to P9 as well, relegating Arno down to P10. Three-car battle now into the first corner. Mad Bad getting through. David Hudson slowing down. Quite safe driving there. Gregor Miazak, P11 on the back of Arno now. About a second gap between himself and the Ford. We'll have to post a reminder in a bit in the Srgp Discord that I will be doing driver interviews for the top 3 and the championship winner as well at the end of the race. Maybe the top 6 if we have time. Depends on sort of what happens. So here we can see Mad Bad on the back of Pocker 69 defending quite nicely. Is Pocker in that Merc. David Hudson having moved down to 16th. DB911 here, P6. Has to start getting ahead and quickly if he wants to challenge for the title against Colin 4th. Trev Rick as well having to start to make up some ground. 25.5 minutes left. Gregory Malzak on the side of Arno here down into T1. Malzak getting the inside line. Almost straddling the curve there as Arno still looking behind. Hey, hey. Why am I so tired? Hey. Oh. Still looking at Gregory Mazak. Lima, I think, new to the series. No, it was me for some reason yawning, even though I've not been awake very long, and all I've done is gone outside once. Oh, okay. 4-car battle here for P14, Pocker 69, Mad Bad, John Mayer and David Hudson. Mad Bad getting past, maybe not fully though, as the right-hander getting the inside line might be more important than the outside on the entry. No, Mad Bad just making it work quite close to the front quarter of the Mercedes, but happened. John Mayer going up the inside, a few bumps, but makes the move work. Not sure if that was a bit iffy, but the move definitely there. It did look as if he was side by side when the bump started to occur, but you never know what a post-race inquiry might say. So here is Pocker 69 now on the focus of our camera. Could he possibly get the launch on the MG6 down the back straight? He might. Starting to catch up. 0.2. Looking up the inside as they go into the corner. There's definite contact. Side by side, both cars staying on. Both getting the back a little bit loose, I think I could see there. The Mercedes may be coming off a bit worse, seeing as it's a shorter car. The front left suspension could have taken a bigger hit than the door of that MG. That has opened up Ocker 69 for David Hudson in his Subaru Levorg. Who's going to get the better run onto the straight? Hudson has the outside in the next corner, which is a little bit faster than the inside, depending on how the driver inside defends. Here they come into first corner. Pocket 69 stays ahead. Hudson has a look down the inside now. Lots in behind. Could look up the inside into the next corner. We get a yellow flag in sector 2. Something might have happened. It's Saguna's a thing. Maybe gone off track. Yep, loses 2 positions. Now got down to P12. He has. David Hudson up the inside, getting a better launch. Contact on the side again for that Mercedes. But that car might be looking quite ugly now. More contact into the last corner between the two. Definitely both drivers racing very hard there. I'm sure the side of that Mercedes does not look pretty at this point. Is David Hudson going to be able to have the speed to make a challenge into the first corner? Doesn't look like it. No, sits behind for a minute. Here we go. Could he possibly have a look into the chicane? He's quite close behind that Mercedes. You can clearly see it. Brakes quite early, doesn't look like it. Pocket 69 getting the back very loose, has to cut the second bit of the chicane a little bit. All 4 wheels off of the racing side of the circuit as dictated by the white lines. Not sure how R Factor 2 does it, if it includes curbs as part of the circuit. I was always taught no. But different sims treat curbs differently. Oh, David Mulliger up. Sorry, not David Mulliger. David Hudson up the inside. Defending quite aggressively from the Mercedes, almost trying to push Hudson off the track. He now gets the inside. Slots back in, no, doesn't think for the dive yet. As we hit the 20-minute remaining mark, so we're going for 25 minutes now. I think some drivers may start to feel the effects of tyre wear. Something I think we saw DB911 have issue with at the last round at Poznan. Obviously quite a hard tyre. Quite a hard tyre track anyway. Here's Simon Marshall P4 with Trev Rick behind. So battle of the Subarus. Abby Dwerf ahead, 2-second gap. Arno has gone into the pits. Not sure what that's for. Could be damage, could be tyres, could be both. DB911 having gotten overtaken by Pinkwin now, down in P7. Here is our current race leader, Ricky Rizzotto. You can see in the background Colin 4th. 3.5 second gap there as Pinkwin entered the corner. Could have cut it down a bit. No, looks like it might have extended to 0.1. Sandrino now back with a battle for P15 on the back of David Hudson. As we enter the first chicane, 0.3 second gap. With Hudson about 0.6, 0.7 behind Ocker 69. Could Sandrino get the run out of the hairpin, are we going to call it? Not sure. Getting a run, defending is David Hudson, or attacking, could be a bit of both. This battle between the 3 cars is quite close together, to be completely and utterly honest. Get the intermediate times back. Around we go into the second chicane. And quite a lot of action here, really. Update on Arno. He has come out of the pits in P20. Sandrino trying to get a look. Srgp P8 on the back of Mazak. 1.6 second gap down the straight. DB911 0.5 behind now. Moved down to P9. Not sure if DB911 had an off track or had a car accident or a crash or something, because he was running 6th, now down in P9. Definitely something. Mad Bad 82 currently running P12 in a Subaru Evolve. 9.3 second gap to Davey, with PXC behind, just about a second gap between the two. Oh, here we are back with this 3-car battle. Pocker 69, David Hudson and Sandrino. Pocker having gotten away quite a bit. Well, I say quite a bit, a little bit with these 2 cars battling. Hudson and Sandrino, respectively, Subaru and Mercedes. What happens? And to the hairpin. I'm going to call it a hairpin from now because bah. I did have a look for caller names. Yeah. I apologize. Around the corner, David Hudson. Now, as we head under the bridge on the back of Pocker 69 once again, is he going to look inside or is he going to sit behind for now? Still staying behind. That being about 0.4 to 0.7 as we hit the straight. DB911, P9, 2 seconds behind Srgp now. Ooh. Not sure as he is on the yellow wall of tyres. I believe that is the mediums. 15 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. Could it have been the wrong choice of tyre for him? Ricky Rizzotto also on the yellow wall of tyres, I believe. They're both drivers in the same car, so it could just be one driver is working the tyres better than the other. Who knows, it could be a multitude of reasons. Could be DB911 just not having a good day. It is the last race of the season though. Need I remind drivers. Srgp now on the back of Mazak. There, very good. Srgp on the purple wall. Not sure what those are. To be completely honest, I should have really made the note of this when I was going through them with Van Tottel a little while ago. Mazak going very wide, giving Srgp the place quite easily. He's going to say, thank you, I'll have that one, off I go. 7.2 second gap now between himself and Pinkwin for P6. One thing we have always seen with these Subarus, however, is they do climb from their starting position. If we just look at the positions gained / lost, you can see Ricky Rizzotto has gained a position, Colin Forth has lost a position, Appledworth has stagnated, Marshall and Rich have both moved up 2, Pinkwin moved down 2, Srgp moved up 4, Mazak having moved up 7, DB911 down by 4, Sagunas down by 2, Davey up by 2, Madbad down by 2, PXC up by 5, John Mayer staying in the same as he started, David Hudson up by 1, Pocker 69 up by 1, Sandrino down by 5, Mad Mike down by up by 1, Arno down by 10, Mollica having stayed where he was, and Lima up by 1 due to the retirement from barrier 1, 2, 3, 4. A reminder for all the drivers as well, that, and everyone watching, or who might watch, someone goes into the pits, that's PXE, we just caught it ahead. Srgp.net, come get in on the racing action, quite a lot of leagues, friendly community, me, maybe if Srgp keeps me going, Sandrino coming into the pits as well, few drivers pitting. Will people be trying 2 stops? Going on a harder to a softer tyre. It's very much a possibility. Very much a possibility. Could that be what Arno did? would be interesting to see if some drivers do opt for a two-stop strategy. If it does work for them, it does work for them. Though, might not work for them either. Never know. Adreno, 48.5 second pit stop, start to finish. Colin 4th, current championship leader, current champion, if he manages to hold. I think a top 5 finish is what we said he needed to win championship this year, so definitely going to be one, I think, for him to celebrate about if he keeps it up. Winning the Btcc series, I'm sure it would be something that he would want to shout about doing it in a race. Appledworth up in P3. Simon Marshall behind, you can see that Subaru there. Someone has spun round out of the first chicane. I think that's Sandrino. Looks like he had some issues going into it, only having come out the pits, I believe. Simon Marshall. On the back of Appledworth, possible third place for him. What we're going to see. Christos up in P10. And we drop down a few positions. DB911, the next car on his radar, 1.5 second gap to him. .1 second now, as there was a yellow flag through that sector. Ricky Rosado, Colin 4th, only being about 2.7 behind. Definitely one that could possibly hot up towards the end of the race. It was 3 seconds earlier, it has started to drop. So it could be the fact Rosado could be saving his tyres. Frothy maybe not. Could even, there's many things that Frothy could do here. He could actually, you know, sit back, hold P2, even come off at the podium. He just has finished P5. There's Simon Marshall now trying up the inside into turn 1 on Appledworth. Doesn't quite make it, has to slot back inside. Oh, I thought that was going to be Simon Marshall up onto the lower step of the podium there, but it wasn't to be this lap. Could be next lap. As we get 10 minutes to go, we will have to wait for the results to fully be published before I can say who's finished where. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a night of congratulations and maybe heartache for some drivers as well. Especially with that battle for the lead being very close. Mad Bad now on the back of Davey as they head into the hairpin. Up the straight now. What car has the better straight line speed? Looks like it might be the Subaru, but I'm not sure. Looking down the inside, does Mad Bad does seem to be, yeah. Rial's got quite a good exit, I think. Then Davey. But Davey's going to have the inside line. I mean, the choice of the inside line, really. Depends on where Mad Bad wants to go. He's got to stay behind here. We've seen some drivers try to make it up the inside before the second chicane, but some of them have worked, some of them haven't. Here is Segunas on the back of DB911. Alright, DB911 also in championship contention. Could it be a Team Smoking top 3 in the championship, as well as their previous win of the Teams Championship as well? This could be something to look out for. Lima has acquired a penalty as Santorino retires from the race. Betkunas now running down, start finish straight with DB911, gets ahead before turn 1, forces DB to adopt an earlier braking line there, I think. Quite an easy cut and dry move. Colin 4 moved now to 5 odd seconds behind Ricky Rosado. Has he had a bit of an issue? Still about 7 seconds ahead of fellow Team Smoking driver Affidworth. Well, 20 cars are remaining in this race. As well about the 22 that we started with. The pack looks pretty spread out now. There's still clearly some battles occurring. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go as Srgp is looking on the back of Pinkwin. Taking very wide line there. I think the Subaru looked like it slid out a bit from under him. Around through the second chicane, through the dip under the Patras sign. Past the team's advertisements. Past my advertisement and the big advertisement boards. Through that right-hander with a bit of a dip, actually. Right-hand king with a dip. Very interesting to go for it. Through to the last corner now. Reminds me of almost the last corner from Sportsland Sugo. Very fun track as well, that. I would love to see it in a race, in a series one day. I really like the track, especially in downforce cars. Colin fourth, current championship leader and champion if things stay the same. Just has to keep in this position 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Maybe plus 1 lap. Who knows what could happen. Srgp still on the back of Pinkwin. Being very, very close together. The gap extending through the first chicane as it normally does with chicanes, really. Look how close they're starting to get. Could end in an absolutely heroic overtake. Or a crash. Also on the postcard. Pinkwin defending the inside there, and there is contact. I did call it. Srgp on the back of Pinkwin. Someone goes a bit sideways behind. Both cars get through unscathed. Srgp though is going to have the choice of the inside line here before the chicane. Is he going to make full use of it? Maybe. No, Pinkwin manages to defend. Very good defending from Pinkwin. Enough of a gap between himself and Srgp to take a normal line and also defend it at the same time. Srgp though getting the inside through the big advertisement board corner. Getting past, however, Pinkwin maybe going for the undercut. He is. Srgp squeezing that little Astra. They go through the right-hand king towards the last corner. Pinkwin is definitely going to want that position back, though. This is the battle for P6. Top 6 being quite a coveted position as well, I believe. I don't know, at least to me it is, but that's because I watch F1. Top 6 being reserved for the best teams. Srgp going offensive down towards turn 1, and there is contact. The rears of the car come together. More contact between the two. Pinkwin has to go wide. Srgp getting the back out. Pinkwin comes off better. Srgp tooting the horn a bit. Maybe a little bit angry what happened there, but it looked like it stemmed from the Subaru getting a bit of understeer, actually. 4 minutes left to go. About 2 times by the leader. Srgp going up the inside, goes wide. Pinkwin getting the cut back. Yes, he does. As they're released onto the straight. What a dive there. Didn't think Srgp would do that, but there he goes. That's one that I would do. Is he going to try for another dive? No, maybe. They're too wide. Pinkwin forced to go the long way round. Gets on the grass. Gets a lot of understeer. Also toots his horn. That's opened him up to Mazak behind. I think Srgp might just be holding the horn there. Oh. Definitely been a race to watch, as Mazak as well has also got past. Pinkwin now down in P8. Oh, not sure if the battle between himself and Srgp was 100% clean, but That's what happens when you're racing so close. The adrenaline's up on the last race of the season. You want it to count. You want to make sure you cement yourself the best championship finish you can get. Because with the board being so close in the individual championship, especially up the top, in the mid, and even towards the bottom, really. Not really including drivers who have only driven one race in the series, however. You want to obviously push as hard as you can, get the best position you can. You don't want to push too hard. Happy Dwarf P3 with Simon Marshall behind and Trevor Rich following behind him. Oh dear. Seems that Marshall has been a bit crushed by Team Smoking cars. One ahead, one behind. See the black rear of Happy Dwarf and then the burgundy front of Trevor Rich. Pinkwin now going to have to push to get back up to that position he was in before. 0.6 second gap between himself and Mazak. With Christos Sekunas behind as well. I know I've gone for about 19 different pronunciations of that name so far this race, and I'm sure there'll be another 19. As we've got a minute and 30 seconds left of racing. David Mollican now being the next car to retire as well, putting us down to 19 cars remaining. Sekunas tries up the inside. They're too wide through the chicane. He's going to get the inside line for the second bit. Looks like the move has been done. Pinkwin down to P9. You see, he's definitely going to battle back against Sekunas. Trev Rich there on the back of Simon Marshall. Is that Simon Marshall? Yep, Simon Marshall. "45 seconds left." So what we are going to do, Arno going round PXC. Because we're now going to smack off the auto control. Team boss versus team boss. Yeah, exactly. Here now. And here is Ricky Rizzotto. Looks like this will be the last lap of the race. However, keep in mind that the big story will be if he can hold it, Colin Forth will win this championship. Having shaky previous two races at Poznan and Magny-Cours, early issues in both, I believe he had. Still managed to hold on by the slimmest of margins, really, which definitely has been something that might not have made him put him at ease for this race, with the gap between himself and Trev Rich only being 6 points. However, it looks like that 6 points isn't going to matter, because it looks like as Ricky Rizzotto comes through the final few corners now, the right-hand kink into the final long right-hander. We'll see him come across the line to take the win. So, well done to Ricky Rizzotto as he comes around. And across the line comes Ricky Rizzotto as we look down the grid. Across the line comes Colin Forth, the new Srgp champion for this series. Across the line he comes. Here comes the next set of cars. Happy Dwarf P3, Marshall P4, Trev Rich P5. Now it's obviously time for me to jump into the streaming channel for any drivers who want to come in. More cars now going through the line as we look at the floor. Here we go, final few cars coming through. John Mayer and Davey, P12 and 13 respectively. David Hudson, I think the last of the Team Smoking cars now coming through. Slowing down. I think he's already come through the line, to be honest. I think that Pixel Track's line isn't actually the start-finish line. I think it has a an F1 style start-finish line, to be honest with you. So, the results, as it happens, if I can get the screen up, that'd be very nice. No, I can't, because the web page that does my overlay has crashed. Hooray! Oh, what would it be without without some tech mess-ups? Ricky Rosado coming through to win the race here at Patras, followed by Colin Forth, the now champion of the TRL Div B Btcc. Anthony Dworth P3, Marshall P4. In 5th was Trev Rich. In 6th was Srgp. 7th Mazak. 8th Sep Kunis. 9th Pinkwin. 10th Madbad. 11th DB911. 12th Davey. 13th David Molliker. 14th David Hudson. 15th Pocker69. 16th Mad Mike. 17th PXE. 18th Arno. 19th Lima. 20th, 21st and 22nd, all being DNF, Molliker, Sandrino and Berrien 1, 2, 3, 4 respectively. So now what we will do is look at Discord. No, that's our factor again. Thank you, game. So I'm going to, while we wait for anyone to come into the chat who wants to go into the chat, I'm going to give my ending words. This obviously being the last race of this season. Myself having come in at the Burium round, race 3, being with the championship since then. Yeah, it's been some very good racing. Some moments to shout about. I obviously had Anthot join me for some of the races as well. 2 of my other friends, Key and Gaz, joining me for the Burium round. It's definitely been some form of racing, really. The drivers have been close, the racing's been intense, we've had the collisions, we've had the heartbreaks, we've had everything during this season, but keep in mind it couldn't be done without the work of Srgp himself, the website there being on the banner. If you haven't joined the Discord or the website, keep in mind I also say this for the pre-recording as well, so free advertisement. Make sure that you do head along. If you're new to sim racing, if you're experienced, if you're fast, if you're slow, there will be something here for you. Everyone's friendly. If you want help or if you want a set or something, you'll 9 times out of 10 get one. Is anyone going to join the Discord, or are we just going to sit here and listen to me rant on as I try to disguise the fact that I'm not a bit sad that this has been the last race of this season. I could be back for more. I might not be. It's now all down to one man. Obviously, community Srgp have been very open about me being here and commentating for this. Many people, I think, got quite excited when I commentated Big Le Mans race. I'm not sure if I will or not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I get asked to do it. Maybe not. Maybe I will. All hangs in the balance. And that was great. The weekend restarting crashed my R factor. Oh, technology! Don't I love you? Oh, it's fine. I can go on the forum and blame it all on the new UI. I don't have anything better than the be right back screen. I'm sorry. It's almost as if this has been very much patched together, because it's funny for people who don't know the story of how I started doing this. I was testing the RF2 TV plugin, which is what I use for this, for a friend of mine, and because I couldn't really test it very well on AIs, because AI racing is a bit, while it's good, it's a bit iffy. I asked Srgp if I could test it at the Burium race, and about 5 minutes before the race started, I was told, yes, you can. And it was like, oh, okay. So I dragged in the 2 friends of mine who I was talking to on Discord at the time to commentate with me. That's available over at my YouTube, same name as here. You can probably also click my profile in the Discord and find it if you want. The replay for this will be up as well. We'll give a few more minutes, see if anyone comes in. They might not. Maybe. Who knows? Nice if we get a trophy. No. Now champion series. Next one. Defending his championship. You know. How championships work. Totally not trying to fill time with just saying random stuff. As I normally do. Yeah, it's definitely been a good race, good season. The drivers in Div A and Div C I haven't really very much of, obviously being focused on Div B, the division to be in. So it's going up to 10 to 10 now. I think I'm going to call the stream here. So, from me, from the people at Srgp, that has been the last race of Division B at Patras. Yeah, thank you for everyone who has joined me during the season. Thank you to Ant, if he's still watching, for joining me for some of the rounds this season. Thank you for everyone who's joined, everyone who's watched over on YouTube. The support I've also got through the Srgp Discord has been great. So, for the final time this season, I have been Husky. That was Sim Racing GP Rookie League Division B at Patras. Thank you and goodbye.